Okay, so what happens when a village's entire water supply just disappears? We're about to follow a young girl, basically a detective, on a mission to solve that exact mystery. But this isn't just a story about water, you'll see. It's a really powerful lesson in how a few small, smart actions can end up solving enormous problems. It all begins with this one simple question from a girl named Meera. Where did all the water go? Imagine it. Her village's main water tank is almost bone dry. The ground is cracked and dusty. The entire community is staring down a disaster. And that single question, it kicks off a mystery that really threatens everyone's survival. So, let's dive into our first section, the vanishing water mystery. To really get the puzzle, we have to understand just how close this village was to the edge. This wasn't just some minor problem, it was a full-blown crisis. I mean, just look at the domino effect here. It starts with the empty tank, right? That leads to people getting desperate, trying anything, even brushing their teeth with muddy water just to get by. Then, as things get worse, families just start packing up and leaving for the city. And for Meera, the most painful part is that empty classroom. Her friends are just gone. The whole community is literally falling apart. But right in the middle of all this hopelessness, our hero emerges. Meera isn't just going to sit around and watch this happen. She sees a mystery that needs to be solved. And with her notebook and pencil, she decides, you know what, I'm going to be the one to find the missing water. But her first attempts, well, they're pretty much just guesswork. She asks a fisherman, he points her downstream. What does she find? Nothing, just another empty tank. Then she asks a goat herd, and he points her back upstream. The result? Another frustrating dead end. She's just running in circles because she's missing something really important, a plan. And that frustration, that actually brings us to the turning point of the whole story, our second section, mapping out a plan. Meera realizes she's got to stop guessing and start getting systematic. This is where the real detective work begins. And, that kind of determination doesn't go unnoticed. Her friend Tara sees what she's doing and joins in. And Tara, she brings a completely new way of looking at the problem. She doesn't just see a dry stream. She sees a whole system of pipes and flow, a system that has obviously failed. See, Tara wants to be a sanitary engineer. And what is that exactly? Well, it's an expert who builds and manages all our water systems. The pipes, the tanks, the drains, the whole shebang. This is exactly the kind of thinking the investigation needed. Instead of just looking for water, Tara's thinking about why it's not flowing. And this right here shows the shift perfectly. They move from just guessing to a real partnership. Instead of searching randomly all over the place, they start systematically mapping everything out, literally drawing every tank and stream. And most importantly, all that frustration, it gets replaced with a clear hypothesis. Then, while they're both staring at this map they drew by hand, they have that classic aha moment. Meera realizes the water isn't just gone, it's being blocked. This changes everything. They're not looking for missing water anymore. Now, they're looking for an obstruction. And that new clue, well, that leads us right into section 3, a community takes action. Because their little investigation is about to become a mission, and it's one they won't have to face alone. So they follow their map, tracing the dry stream bed, and then they find it, the source of the whole problem. And it's not a fallen tree or a rock slide. The culprit is a man-made dam of stones, plastic, and just plain garbage, choking the stream down to a pathetic trickle. And watch what happens next. Meera and Tara, they don't run to get an adult. They just start working. They start clearing the blockage with sticks, and soon other kids see them and decide to join in. What started with just 2 girls becomes this amazing collective effort. By sunset, the entire stream is clear. And this brings us to our final section, the river's lesson. This is all about how one small focused action can create an absolutely huge impact, as long as it's the right action. And look how quickly their hard work pays off. That very same night, it starts to rain. But now, because they cleared the path, the rainwater doesn't just get stuck or soak into the ground. No, it flows exactly where it's supposed to go. By the next morning, the stream is alive again, and it's pouring directly into the village's main tank. Problem solved. And the impact here goes so much deeper than just getting the water back. The entire village learns this vital lesson. They make a promise to each other. We will never pollute our streams again. They start being proactive, planting trees, building small dams to conserve water for the future. They went from being victims of a problem to guardians of their own resources. So the story's ultimate lesson is this. Working together and caring for nature are incredibly powerful forces. The village didn't need some massive, expensive government project. They just needed a clear plan and the will to act together. It proves that every single drop and every single piece of trash really does count. And that leaves us with a final thought. This story isn't really just about water, is it? It's a metaphor for any problem that seems way too big to solve on your own. So the real question is, what are the blocked streams in your community? And how could a small group of determined people start clearing the path?